let me know what's going on there for that can help me, help me in my small business.
That's very interesting. I want to compliment you on having a wedding chapel, but you said something quite interesting. You said last year having to do with the wedding chapel about colds.
Yes.
The building getting up to code?
Yes.
Okay, did you have any experiences trying to make that happen?
Oh, man. That's a nightmare.
Explain that, because I think it's important. Having a city council person here and having a prospective mayor here, that's one of the things I know Dane is really concerned about, is making sure that we streamline this process so that individuals like yourself can get through and make sure that City Hall is going to make available to you the tools that you need.
Yeah, and just before you jump in, I just want to say we're going to get the city open for business. I don't want to, and I know this has been your experience, we sure don't want people who have tried to set something up in Flint to call what happens to them down at City Hall a nightmare. And I hear it over and over again. So you're not alone, unfortunately, and we'll change that. So yeah, please tell us what your experience was and how you'd like to see things different, because we've got to do this better.
Well, one, I think that what I would think is that we should update the codes and make them more clear, and I think that it should be as it stated that one segment of people do one segment of City Hall regulate this, one segment regulate that, but it's not distinct. You know what I'm saying? It's like they all clutter, and when they clutter like that, you say, well, okay, this person told me this, and now you telling me this. Now, which way am I supposed to go, left or right? And you have a lot of that, and then you say, then you stop and say, well, no wonder I'm catching blah, blah, blah because of blah, blah, blah. Everything is confused anyway.
One of the things that Dane has said is that we have missed some opportunities in Flint because we don't have a streamlined process and we don't have a user-friendly system.
I totally agree.
That business people like yourself just say, forget it.
Right.
And they walk away.
Right. And, during the process, I experienced a lot of people. When you get in the circle, you start running into a lot of people, and then they're telling you the bad experiences that they are having. And when that happens, you can understand why the businesses are failing or not being completed because of the hassles.
Mr. Welch, thank you for sharing those very valid concerns. Even as a landlord, I know what you mean as far as the runaround. Sometimes you get down in City Hall. It's time for our praise break.
Yeah, we need a little inspiration right now. We got to get through this.
But when we come back, Dane, why don't you just kind of talk about some of the changes that you'd like to make to address some of the issues that Mr. Welch has mentioned for us already.
And people can call in. Like always, get those questions ready. If you're a small business owner out there listening and you have a concern that you need myself and Jackie Poplar, Councilwoman, to know, and Greg, let's get those calls in too.
Right, and that number is 239-5733, so get to your phone. Okay, right now, here is Martha Munizzi reminding us that no matter what's going on around us, high unemployment or bad treatment at City Hall, God is still worthy to be praised.
Amen.
Amen. Welcome back. I hope that song ministered to your spirit. I think it did to us here in the studio.
It sure did, Rhoda. Thanks for giving us another great selection to listen to. I always look forward to that every Saturday morning. It gets me ready for Sunday morning to hear that when we get together and talk about how we work together and know that it's in God's Spirit that we're able to do that and to become more like His Son, Jesus Christ. And there's just so much work to do right here in this community, our community. And hearing what Mr. Welch has shared and what I've heard from business owners or people who wanted to start businesses and somebody stopped them along the way, I am deeply committed, our whole team, to making this city open for business and streamlining this process. And I know Councilwoman Poplar, you and I have talked about this. It's something that we share a commitment to.
Yes, and I'm committed to working with the new administration on helping our small businesses flourish in our communities. And true, there is a lot of unnecessary red tape. And I do what I can for my businesses that want to come to the Second Ward. I even help send letters to the zoning to let them know that whatever I can do as far as zoning, whatever, cut the red tape, let these people have their businesses, because now this is going to be the new wave of the future, is the small business owner, and we must do what we can to help them.
This is a great conversation, and I believe we have someone who wants to join in. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, I'm concerned about the taxes and the telephone taxes, the insurance. As soon as you give your zip code to Flint, the taxes are sky high, the insurance is sky high. And I want to know, what does our intended mayor and our councilman, intend to do about all these sky high taxes and insurance that you pay in Flint, Michigan? Compared to Grand Blanket, compared to Davidson, we pay at least $500 more just to live in Flint.
Well, you're right, caller, that there are some things about doing business in Michigan, doing business in Flint. Those insurance companies, they judge us a certain way. And we've talked throughout this show at other times about how we'll reorganize our police force and get them working under a new public safety plan so that this community becomes more safe. Over time, that's going to lower our insurance rates. But what we need to focus on are the things that we can control. We can't control the national economy or international trade laws. We can't control state of Michigan tax laws. But what we can control as a mayor, as a council, is what that process is like when you show up down at City Hall for that first permit, and how we lay out a schedule, 1 through 10. Here's what you do first, second, third. It's all online. It's simple. You can fill out your forms right there at the computer. You can pay online with a credit card if you'd like to. And we can make it just that simple. And we've made it way too complicated here. Some of the other issues you raise are going to take a longer period of time, for those that public safety to improve so that our insurance rates go down. And the other thing about taxes that is important here, now, the city of Flint has a number of federal and state programs where certain parts of the city, you're eligible for tremendous tax discounts and credits. So if you're a small business owner out there, when we're down there at City Hall, then come see us, and we'll be able to lay out for you where anywhere from downtown going all the way up to the corner of the city, Beecher and Mount Morris Township, we have programs in place where you can receive tremendous tax discounts because of locating right here in the city.